Hi guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Joanna, and in this video I will be talking about the 5 qualifications you must meet in order to be approved to rent an apartment. So renting an apartment is not as easy as just walking inside the leasing office, handing them an application, and giving them your money. There's actually 5 things that the property checks to approve you to live there. All right, so what are these 5 things? Number 1, your income. You have to be making a certain amount of money. How much money? Totally depends on the property. For example, some properties require you to be making 3 times rent. What does that mean? That means that if your rent is $1,000 a month, you have to be making $3,000 a month. How do you prove this? They're gonna ask you for your pay stubs. If you don't have pay stubs because you get paid in cash or whatever, you're gonna have to give them your bank statement. If you have neither a bank statement or your pay stubs, then talk to your leasing agent and they'll probably work something out with you for you to prove that. Number 2, they're gonna go look at your work history. Properties want your income to be steady. Therefore, they're gonna require you to be at the same job for a certain amount of time. What do I mean by that? I mean that you must be in your job for the last 6 months or the last year. Again, all depends on the property. How do you prove that you've been at your job the amount of time that you say you have? Again, they're gonna ask for you the last 6 months of your pay stubs. If you don't have pay stubs, then talk to your leasing agent and you can work something out. They'll probably give you like an employer verification form where your employer fills it out and verifies that what you're telling them is true. Number 3, credit score. Nowadays, they check your credit score for everything. So don't be surprised that they're gonna do it when you're renting an apartment. Also, if you have a low credit score, don't be discouraged. That's usually not something that they'll not rent an apartment to you for. If you have a low credit score, they'll usually just double your deposit, or they just won't give you the special that they're running at that time. So don't be discouraged if you have a low credit score. Just be ready to talk about it with your leasing agent. Number 4 and number 5, I feel are like the most important criteria that they have. And it's the first thing that you need to tell your leasing agent. Number 4, they're gonna check your rental history. So if you have an early termination, if you have a broken lease, or if you have an eviction, those are huge red flags for the properties. So I suggest that you tell them up front. Properties will work with people that have a history of those 3 things in previous years, like 3 years, 5 years, and they'll work with you. Again, just talk to your leasing agent and see how the property works. Number 5, they're gonna check your criminal history. Felonies, huge red flags. Misdemeanors and nonviolent crimes, just tell them and see what they'll work with you, okay? Don't be discouraged, just tell them. So, in summary, the 5 things that you need to be ready to prove and the things that they're gonna check when you want to go and live at a place: income, work history, credit score, renter history, and your criminal history. So be ready to talk to your leasing agent about those 5 things. If you feel like you're not ready to rent an apartment, if you feel like you still have to work in one of those 5 things, don't be discouraged. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. God has a plan for everybody. So if you don't get approved to live where you really want to prove, there's a reason behind it. Just keep doing you, keep working, find the right leasing agent that will work with you and understand you, because at the end of the day, signing that contract is like signing a marriage. Like, you're gonna be stuck with that property for as long as that contract says. So you want to live somewhere where they understand you, where they accept you, and where you're not going to have any troubles going forward.